not try to thaw out Cool Whip in the microwave. It don't work.
Oh,
So,
no.
No, I was in a hurry because
thaw Cool Whip in the microwave.
Yeah, okay, guys, this is blooper time, but we are live now. So let's rock and roll. Now I don't know if you're gonna hit the recording. I don't see where you hit the recording, and I can't do it. So, but anyway. Oh, it's recording now. Here we go. Well, welcome everybody. Tonight is our weekly Wine and Dine. It is December 21st, and I'm so happy to wish every one of you all Merry Christmas and welcome. We have so much fun on this weekly Wine and Dine, and tonight is going to be no different. Actually, you're going to have a wonderful treat. So if this is your first time here, please sit back and relax and enjoy. You're going to find some great recipes paired with some phenomenal wines. And so every week before we get started, we always kick off our evening with a toast. And this evening we have our very own CEO, Mr. Rory Rickard. Rory, take it away, baby.
All right, I'm gonna put this over here. So I got a good setup for you guys here today. Well, surprise coming on later, but I'm going to open the toast up. I'm doing a Pinot Grigio. I think I might have done this last time. This is such a good wine that you have a bottle, you want another one and another one. And I was thinking like obviously I have an assortment today. And I was like, man, what do I want to start out with? And I went with the lighter wine because I'm going to go to a heavier thing in a little bit. And I'm drinking the Tanya, the Pinot Grigio. So white wine, I pull it out of the fridge so it can actually warm up a little bit. It's too cold in the normal fridge. You want to let it sit out for at least 10 minutes before you pour it. And that is not a proper pour. That's like a double.
Yeah.
So I'm going to double it up. Cheers to the.
Well, I'm not sure what he's cheersing to because his voice stopped talking.
Cheers to you too, Rory.
So yeah, so here's to the first day of winter and a great holiday and all our family everywhere.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Salute. Thank you so much, Rory. I know you'll be back in a little bit to join us. So we're going to move right along, and this evening we have our wonderful MSI, Miss Sherry Lacey Hayes, and she has a lineup of cooks for you that has some wonderful recipes and wines to pair with. So Sherry, take it away, honey.
Thank you, Jackie. You are a natural. So glad you have this job. Anyway, everyone looks so festive tonight. I'm delighted to be here. And we're going to start with an appetizer, as usual. We are the Direct to Consumer Ambassador Club, and it's the best wine club in the world. And we have a lot of people that are willing to share their recipe and pair it with one of their wonderful wines. And we're going to start with Chad McCracken, who has a dip for us, a sausage dip, I believe. So Chad, take it away.
Yeah, it's a sausage dip. It's real easy. It's like 3 ingredients. So I got the sausage cooking. It's almost done. I put the block of cream cheese in it, and I found my can. And a can of Rotel. Yep, original. I like spicy food. And I'm going to pair it with Dina Young Malbec.
Nice choice.
Well, that's the only choice I had.
Well, then you made a good.
I'm running low.
Well, we can help you with that.
I hope so.
I know a person that knows a person, Chad.
I know a few people. Thing. It's just getting UPS to go from there to here.
Oh, well. Yeah.
But it's easy, it's simple. I use this recipe all the time. Football games, perfect. Warm up, eat it, and go. I think that's it for right now, Sherry. Let me get the rest of the ingredients in and do in a little bit.
Okay, Sherry, who do we have up for the main course? I know who we got up, but
We have Miss Kim Moore. So if you unmute and show us what you got, Kim.
Okay. Well, we're doing the single person's rushing home late that, like my life is, okay? And like most of us are, because we're running around doing a lot of stuff. Because I just got back from St. Louis about a half an hour ago. So I stopped on the way and went by Honey Baked Ham and did not buy a whole ham. I got a couple of slices, but I also got this huge ham bone with so much ham on it. It's ridiculous. And it was, I think it was like $9. And there's enough, I mean, this is enough for me to eat by myself anyway, but I got a couple of nice slices of the honey baked ham. And in the oven, which is already ready, I have some of the au gratin potatoes. And then I kind of put I put some Gouda on it after I cooked it for its 45 minutes that you have to do. So it's already in for its end cooking. I have my wine, garlic, butter, white wine, garlic, butter, and a little dash of lemon. And then for some reason, I felt like I needed a little Creole seasoning in it. Don't ask me why, but I was just in the mood. Jackie must have got me messed up or something. And then I had some shrimp, which I took out of the freezer, ran cold water over, just enough for me, lunch thing, and I'm putting them in here right now. And we're going to have those ready. And you should be able to come back to me within, maybe 10 minutes at the most. And we'll be rocking and rolling.
Sounds like a plan. Great. Thank you, Kim. Okay, let's see if Miss Kathy is close to being ready. If not, we can. Kathy?
What I'm pairing with.
Oh, I didn't ask you that. I was going to ask you that when you served it up. What are you pairing it with?
I'm pairing with the Discovery's Grenache.
Ooh.
Because it's a light enough red that it can still go with the shrimp. That's why I kind of, I don't know, wanted a little Cajun seasoning in with it too, but with the ham as well. So it'll go with both, and the cheese and all that. It's just going to go with everything. And I've got a little olive tampignon that I got while I was in St. Louis too. So, okay, now I'm done.
Awesome. Peter, what do you think about her choice that she's pairing?
I think especially when you want a red wine with something like that, the Grenache is a great choice. It's light bodied. It's a classic wine that they have in Spain with tapas, and garlic shrimp is one of the things you always have. So I think it's a great choice.
Looks like you hit it out of the ballpark, Kim. Kathy, are you ready to show us what you're doing?
I'm ready, darling. I'm making hummingbird pies, and I made these pies for my youngest son's wedding reception. We made a lot of them too, but they're very easy to make. They're very tasty, and I actually got this recipe. I found the newspaper that I got it out of from our local paper on November the 20th, 2002, from the holiday cooking section. I thought that was pretty cool. But we've got, it's supposed to make 2 pies. I don't know if these actual pie crusts look like they're bigger than the ones that I usually use. So, and they're deeper, I know they are. So I was panicking because what I took to put in the first pie didn't leave anything for the second pie. So my sweet husband had to run out and get more Cool Whip, which I tried to thaw out real quick in the microwave on defrost and caught it before it turned to water. So we're going to make this work. Okay. All you have to do, take a graham cracker pie crust. You mix together a thing of Cool Whip, a pack of 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, and a can of Eagle Brand. That's all it takes. You pour this into the pie crust. Oh, before you do that, you need to toast some coconut. And my sweet daughter-in-law, I'll never forget her asking me where to buy toasted coconut. Pies before, and I thought, oh no, it's a good thing I taught my son how to cook, but she's a great cook. But anyway, you toast the coconut and let it cool. Fill up this pie crust, and then you top it with toasted coconut.
Not really.
Makes it so pretty, makes it look like a hummingbird nest.
Right. You want me to look?
And then you're going to top it with chopped pecans. Needless to say, I don't measure. I like a lot. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right and put a lot on there.
That's the way my grandmother always did it. She never measured anything, and her food was out of this world.
Right. I use the Kathy School of Measurement. Okay. Now, what you do is put this in the refrigerator to chill, and then I'll show you what we do to it when you come back. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. I've got another one that I stuck in the freezer a little bit ago. Hopefully, when I cut a piece of it to show you how to serve it, it won't totally fall apart, but we'll see. Living dangerously today. Oh, and I paired mine with the Discovery's 2020 Moscato. And my reason for doing it is because I love wine, and I thought it would taste good with it. So
That's a great reason. I mean, just saying you love it, that's always a good reason to pair something.
There you go.
it is so good. I had hoarded me a couple extra bottles, so I saved it. But I thought this would be a good reason to have it.
Do you want us to come back to you, Kath? Or are you going to?
Yeah, come back. I'm gonna.
Okay.
You come back later, and I'll get the pie out of the freezer and show you how to serve it up.
All right.
Okay. While she does that, we have a special cook here tonight cooking. She's the first time cooking on here. So I'm going to have her introduce this favorite holiday dish that she's making. Everybody knows Adele.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Adele.
Sounds wonderful.
You. I am making a very simple cookie. Actually, I guess it is more like a brittle type thing. Very simple, very easy, and excellent. So I have 2 sticks of butter here, melted, and I'm putting in half a cup of sugar. And I have to cook this for 3 minutes.
And while she cooks that, we also have, you make this with soda crackers. You can probably see the can. That's the way they usually come. If you can't find these, saltines work well. And we have them spread out on a cookie sheet, just a single layer. And then we have almonds that are going to go on top of them.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. And this is the most addictive dish you will ever find. You will just, if somebody goes and grabs one, you'll find 5 minutes later, they're going back and getting another, and 2 minutes later, another, and another, and another until they're gone. So it's very addictive. And tonight's pairing is brought to us basically by our cook here. It's the Adele Zinfandel. And part of the reason for the pairing is it'll go well. And part of the reason is one of the great reasons to pair anything, which is that's what we were drinking for dinner. So we're going to have that with our dessert.
Sounds wonderful. And what was the name of it again?
It's an almond. They're called almond crisps.
Almond crisp. Okay.
So we just take these almonds and we just sprinkle them all over the crackers. And when we're done with when this is done cooking, we're going to pour it over it, stick it in the oven for 10 minutes, and that'll be it. So
awesome.
So if you want to go on to our next cook of the evening and come back to us in a few minutes.
Okay, super. So Mr. Robert, are you ready to show us what you have?
Good evening, all. I am so excited to be sharing this. This is a family recipe. I call it Fantastic Fruitcake Fusion because it's, again, the fruitcake I grew up on, which was a few years ago. And so I'm very pleased to present it. And, you know, this is fruitcake, a really good fruitcake, which this is like a fine wine because it takes time to develop its full flavor. So this was made prior to Thanksgiving. So we've had we've had over 30 days now for it to age. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it, to sample it, because I haven't actually tasted the aged version. The ones I gave away and we had at Thanksgiving were still a little young, and like a new wine, they're a little rougher, but it was still all gone within that evening. And tonight I'm going to pair it with another wine that I have not tried. And so Peter had suggested this would be a great one. It's a Discoveries, the Tempranillo. I'm not sure.
Tempranillo, yes.
So I'm excited to have that this evening. So mini first, and I know he recommended it because of the fruitiness and that it should pair well with the fruitcake. So moving forward, we're going to slice into this. And oh yes, look at that. I know it's
Oh, wow.
but my whole philosophy in making fruitcake is it should be full of fruit and not so much batter. And this is truly fruitcake that you're going to enjoy, and it may become a family tradition or addiction. I think
Sounds
I'm going to
wonderful.
try the wine first, since I don't want to have the fruitcake overpowering this, since this is a first for me. And oh, that's very nice. And I know I agree with Peter's mention. It's not real strong tannin for a red wine. So now we go for the piece de resistance. Look at the fruit. I mean, and this was made with dried fruits that were macerated overnight in rum before making the fruitcake. So, I mean, this is just saturated. And the real secret is the aging, using cheesecloth. And I'll tell you, my secret is not just brandy, it's apricot flavored brandy.
Oh, wow.
The difference. And now I'm having a bit of that.
So I'm interested to see what you think about the wine with it together. How does it pair?
Well, it seems very workable. Yeah,
Great.
I'll talk to you later. I'm going to be busy here.
Okay. Don't
No.
blame you at all. And I
No.
think we need to
That
go back.
paired so nicely. It just, oh, well, and you know, brandy is from fruit, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, man, this, yeah, both mature and yeah, it works very well. Thank you.
Wonderful.
God bless
Thank
us,
you, Robert.
everyone.
We're going to move on to our fearless leader. He has a surprise for us before we go back to people. So I can't wait to find out what it is.
Rex, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I guys, I got this whole setup here. I'm going to be making Boston sours, and that's because I'm going to show off a new thing we're going to be adding to our DTC ambassador program, and that is fine whiskeys. So I've got 2 finished products here to try. I've been waiting until tonight. I have not tried them yet. I know what they're supposed to taste like because I've been involved in the entire process of developing our whiskey. I've got 2 versions. He wants me to try them both and see which one I like better. We've been narrowing it down. And then I'm going to make a cocktail out of this. And this is foreshadowing, because Peter and I, we love our wines, we love our spirits, we're not only going to be doing the wine and dine, we're going to be doing cocktail hour as well. And we're going to be doing it with proper spirits. Just like proper wines are made the right way and they don't have the additives that they put in the marketplace on 85% of the wines, whiskeys and all the spirits are made in a very bad way. All whiskeys and spirits you get off of the shelf contain additives and a lot of glycerin in there. And there is no glycerin in our spirits. We're making them true to form the way they're supposed to be made, so that all the medicinal value and all the ease of that it's supposed to give our lives are there. We get to bring quality back to spirits, just like we're doing with wine. So, unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that's done that's not really good to our foods. We get to make it right and educate the world, and that's what we get to do. So, I'm going to pour this one. We've got this nice heavy stout bottle. I'm not sure what the bottle is that we're going to go with. I actually like this bottle, and it's different than what I see in a lot of them in the stores. Will be different that way. We're not going to be selling the stores. We're going to be direct to the consumer. We can ship to 27 states. And tasting a whiskey is just like tasting a wine. I'm not going to swirl it though, but I am going to look at the coloration. And now that I know all this stuff, I'm going to share with you. A lot of these colors, we're tricked to think that it's aged in oak. And if you look at most whiskeys on the shelf, the coloration does not change from bottle to bottle because it's made to a formula and they literally add the flavoring and coloring to it. So it's always going to be the same. It's a recipe, and those additives and the coloring are additives that make us more addicted to that alcohol. Not a good thing if you ask me. So this is a pure thing. So our coloration will differ batch to batch, barrel to barrel. So I'm smelling this in there, and I got to tell you, I asked them to put a contrast of honey in the whiskey and vanilla. So we got Mexican vanilla in this, and I can smell it. And this whiskey smells divine. It's an alcohol percentage of 35%, which is you know, it's a lot of the ones in the store they'll say like 40. We want to keep around the 35% because it makes the taste and flavor amazing. And you know, we don't need to like drink and get plowed. We want to drink to have pleasure and literally let the spirits do what they do. And I got to tell you this, when you have a true spirit compared to the modernized conglomerate owned spirits, there is a magic to them. And a lot of people have never tried that because they never had the chance to, because they bought the stuff off the shelf. I got to tell you how excited I am to share this with the world. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. But anyway, I'm going to try the first one, and I'm sipping it. I'm not going to shoot it, even though it's in a shot glass. Wow. That vanilla taste on it's unbelievable. Wow, that is just over the rocks. This is going to be quite enjoyable. You know, a lot of people, they don't drink spirits and they don't like the taste of it. They drink it for the effect. You should enjoy the taste of it too. There's a way to make it taste amazing without putting crazy additives in it. Wow, that's got a great little vanilla hint. It's not like a vanilla whiskey like you would have from the store where it's really flavored. It doesn't taste syrupy, but I know it's in there. I can taste the notes of it, and it's from real Mexican vanilla. Okay, I'm trying the second one. If that's the vanilla one, I can't. This one might have the cinnamon to it. I'm gonna see. That I can taste. There's definitely a rye finish in this. Wow. Okay, that vanilla one is a delight. This one's great too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try both of them in a Boston sour. So shooting whiskey is one thing. It's great. I'm going to have those to shoot. But I'm going to make what's called a Boston sour. And you guys have all heard of a whiskey sour. It's basically lemon juice, simple syrup, and whiskey. Well, a Boston sour is lemon juice, simple syrup, and egg white. And you blend it up just nice. It makes it nice and frothy. It is an amazing cocktail. Unfortunately, I find myself having to make them at home because a lot of restaurants or bars aren't equipped to use the white egg. They're afraid of like egg poisoning or some weird thing. So if you can find one, they'll do it for you. Amazing. But I'm going to tell you, this is one of my absolute favorite cocktails. It just happens to be very hard to get. and it's really hard to find a bar that'll make it for me. So I do it at home a lot. So I got this Vitamix blender, total overkill, by the way. I could just shake it in my shaker, but I like the frothiness to come out right. So I put it in the blender. This is the Vitamix. It's going to be loud for a second. And I'm going to use my undertone of the vanilla one first to mix in. I'm going to try the other one to see what I like best. I got to tell you, this vanilla, like, I'm going to tell you just that little bit of vanilla, it is a signature. Like, I think I really like this whiskey right here. This one's great too. And I'm going to have to just play around with it. But if you saw where we came from to get to here, this is a finished whiskey. This, I know any one of my buddies that like whiskey would like this one right here for sure, and this one as well. It's going to make a great old fashioned. It's going to make great. So progress, everybody. So here's my egg whites. There's 2 in there. I'm not making a single. I'm making a double. All right. Tanya usually likes these with me. So making one is just a lot of work. Might as well double it up. So that's 2 egg whites. Mix it all in there. That's 2 lemons squeezed. And I need simple syrup. Now this shows the simple syrup that we buy a lot. But just so you know, Tanya and I make our own simple syrup. It's 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. And then we just put them in these same containers in the fridge. And I need about the same exact amount that I put the egg whites. It's about that much. I eyeball it. It's the same amount. And then it calls for 2 ounces of bourbon on each one, which is about there. I'll heavy pour it. I always go a little heavier in my bourbons anyway. I really like the taste of the bourbon. So I want you guys to understand this whiskey right here, unless you know how to make your own, that's the purest whiskey that's going to be on the market. There is nobody else marketing that way. And it has to do with costs and production, really. And this whole direct to consumer marketplace that we're in, we have the distillery, we own the distillery out in Mexico. That's where it's made. It's going to go from there by truck to our wine warehouse, and vice versa. Wine's going to go to Mexico in the same truck route, and then we're going to ship it right to the door. So we're minimizing the whole cost of this, so we can deliver premium fine liquors, spirits to the door, and keep the model going where it's going to be so hard for anybody else to beat our value. All right, I've got everything in here. I'm not missing anything. Simple syrup's in there, check. Whiskey's in there, check. I'm just going to blend it.
Roy, are you going to be selecting one of those, or are you going to have both of them available?
You know, I like the fact that I can do what I want to do. I'm not sure right now. and also, I'll tell you a little bit more of the game plan, because this has been aging for months. We tried it before and made some changes on the direction, and we're going to get these batches going. But, you know, in 6 years, we'll have 6-year age whiskey. In 12 years, we are all part of this legacy that we're leaving for the world. And the more they age, the more they round out. So we're going to be definitely producing the aged whiskey. So we're all part of this now. We have whiskeys being made that's going to be aging for the years, and we get to release them later. Okay, so let me blend this up. That's all it takes. If you saw how it got frothy, went from this to that, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we want. Now I'm not done. For me to do this right, I'm taking it out of the blender. I just blended the components together, mainly because of the egg. You want the egg and the whiskey and everything to solidify. That's the magic of it. There's a lot of why I don't get these in bars. It's like takes too much time for them. And I'm going to pour it into my shaker that has ice, right? And there's still some left over. I'm going to pour this in here. I put a lot of ice, and I'm going to shake it vigorously. Like very vigorously, not light shakes. You want that ice surface to cover the whole thing. Then I'm going to strain it into my glass. And I'm not going to strain it over ice because I just shaked it over ice, so it's really cold. And there is my whiskey, my Boston Sour, right? And hold on, we're going to see how this tastes. And nothing fancy, I'm just going to consume it. Oh my gosh, that is by far amazing. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Back to you guys. I'm gonna have this. I'm glad I'm gonna be trying both of these out. You guys will be able to see by the volume of these bottles going down how my night's going.
Well, whiskey drinkers are in for a big treat. So thank you, Roy. And Niall's just frothing at the mouth right now.
My friend, Niall, my friend. Yes. Yes.
Anyway, thank you, Roy. We're gonna go back and ask Chad to try his dip for us and his wine and see how they do together.
All right, I'm all mixed together. Can you see it, Sherry? Wait a minute.
Yes,
Where's my
yes,
camera?
I can see it. Looks yummy.
Oh, it is. It's awesome.
And what are you dipping it with?
Tostitos chips.
Yes, very good.
And that's made with homemade sausage.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good.
Verdict?
Brings out the spices in the sausage.
Good.
And the
Wonderful.
green peppers.
Ooh, I love
Yeah,
green.
that's awesome.
Sounds good.
I love it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Miss Kim, are you ready to show us what you got?
I didn't want to dip it till everybody was done because I want it to be hot when I eat it. I went ahead and put a little bit of ham in with my potatoes, just a little bit in there, just because I like to have stuff everywhere. That's what I do. And I also added a little paprika, a little smoked paprika to my shrimps and some Parmesan cheese. And then I put it in the oven like I usually do. And that's the shrimpies there.
Ooh.
You see those? And then there's the au gratin potatoes. Now this is honey baked, but then I touched it up with my own stuff like I always do. And then this is just part of the ham that I got. Just a couple of slices to show what beautiful ham they get. I mean, I had to do stuff that was quick. And what am I going to do cooking a whole ham, right? But I got those little pieces off of the big bone that I got. And that bone that I got is plenty enough to make at least 2 things of soup. And I got me a thing of the bean soup mix to make some bean soup.
Yummy.
Because it's to get really, really cold here. And so I don't give your ham bone to your dogs, okay? There's too much value in those ham bones, man. They taste too good. If you're going to give them to the dogs, call me first. I'll eat them. So anyway, so that came up nice and crispy on there. Got lots of juice. I'm not going to put the juice all in the plate yet, but I got the wrong spoon. Hang on a minute. I'm fixing this. I got to have juice. It doesn't matter if it's got a little potato on there. It'll be all right. Okay. There we go. And you know what? I might put a little on there too. I love garlic butter. I can't help it. All right. So now we're going to try this with our grenache. And I'm actually going to try and see how the potatoes and ham taste and the shrimp to see what the difference is. Okay. So I'm going to take a sip, swirl, of course, and snip. Wonderful. Wonderful wine. Right. Well, it'd probably help if I had a fork.
Yeah,
Now-
that would help.
And this is what she thinks is a quick and easy dinner to make because she doesn't have any time. Most people would think, the 6-course meal is elaborate.
Yes, I agree, Peter. She's quite the cook, quite the chef.
That shrimp is good. Mm-hmm.
Tastes good together.
There, it looks so
Oh yeah. You get more flavor out of, actually it brings out the flavor of the wine better for some reason, but that's what it does.
Wow.
Right. Now
Cool.
what I told you I put some Gouda cheese on top of this potatoes too, right? It's got the regular.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We put some Gouda, Normally I salt stuff, but because I put the ham in there, I didn't with this. Now I'm
Mhm.
gonna get me a plain sip before I do the other. Oh man, those potatoes are good.
I'll bet they are.
Oh
I
wow.
love that you're saying the food makes the wine taste better. That's one of the parts of wine pairing people don't think about.
Mhm. Man, that is good. That
That is
Gouda
interesting.
potatoes, it's not like regular au gratin. The Gouda just kind of zooped it up.
I like the word zoot, Kim. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Oh, now this that's funny, but it really brought out more. There's a little spice in this. You don't think there is when you first taste it, but it brings out more of the pop of the wine when mixing it with the cheese like that.
Well, if you have any leftovers, just send them on down to Florida, down here.
But you're just gonna have to come visit me up in the boonies in Tennessee.
I guess so.
This is right now the #1 rated sommelier wine tasting glass. Okay.
Really?
I just got.
Wow.
I'm normally a Riedel fan, although some people don't think Riedels make a difference. But I have done taste tests, and they do. I did a taste testing while I was up at my friend Sandy's in St. Louis,
Uh-huh.
and compared to Riedel and this one won because see how big a nice wide bottom is.
Yeah,
And
that
it
is.
brings it all up to the front here at the top, and it's got real thin lip. And so when you do it, you get a nose really good, like a puppy.
Yeah, my pie's melting.
You what?
My
Her
pie's melting.
pie's melting. We gotta get
Our pie's melting.
There's your sign, man.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. That looks wonderful. And I will have to come to
We
Tennessee.
tasted too, but it was worth it.
Love you, girl. Okay. My pie is actually melting, but only because it didn't get to stay in the freezer long enough. It wasn't your fault, sweetheart. But what you do when you have a nice firm piece of pie to put on here, like it usually is when you cut it, I don't know if you can see this or not. You take, it says you can take this caramel ice cream sauce and put it all over the pie, but I like to take and do it on the plate when you serve it. That's what I did at the wedding reception, and it makes it look more festive.
nice.
And
Looks
it's
like a
really,
Christmas
really,
tree.
really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna try this with my wine now. I saved enough wine so I could taste this. I almost guzzled all of it. That pie is so good. They'll have to make this. And I added a picture to my page, so. You know what? This pie is so sweet. And of course, this is a sweet wine, but it kind of calms down the sweetness of the wine because the pie is so sweet. It brings out the flavor of the wine more.
Yeah,
It's not,
that's great.
it's not sweet, but you can taste it more. If that makes sense.
And that's a lot of fun. Now we've had 2 people in a row who said the food made the wine taste different, which I love. That's yeah, and yeah, when you have something super sweet like that pie, it's gonna make the wine taste a lot less sweet.
But it's still delicious. It's still my favorites.
Well, yeah, there's
pie,
such a richness to that wine. As that goat would be great with that pie.
it's very good. Very, very good. And I'm done. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Kathy. But before we close this evening, I don't believe we talked about the club, the wine club itself. Rory was so excited and gave us that peek preview of what's coming, which is absolutely wonderful. Sherry, would you like to talk a few minutes about the actual wine club for a minute?
Didn't cook enough.
Sherry, you still there? Well, while we're waiting for Sherry, I got to
I'm
show
here.
you my
I
finished
think she's
product.
there. Oh,
So here's the almond crisps, which are salty and sweet and buttery and impossible to stop eating.
What did you put with them?
Well, I have, since it was cooked by the lady on this bottle, I have the Adele Zinfandel.
Ooh,
So,
And for those of you that are asking, I have requested that Peter get me Miss Adele's recipe and some notes around it. And I'm going to write a page for you guys, but we will have that recipe forthcoming and we will post it a little bit later. So Peter, if you'll help me out with that, buddy, I'd appreciate
yep,
it.
I got it to you right after the call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Mm.
you, Jackie. Wonderful.
Mm. And boy,
So
that's
can
great.
you talk to us a little bit about the wine club, Sherry, before we close out?
Well, sure. And I do believe that, well, I guess Robert had tasted his before. Okay. So our wine club is Wine of the Month Club is like no other. You actually can get free wine for just referring three customers to the wine club. And we started out just the good old US of A, but again, it is direct to consumer ambassador. It's DTCA. And so it shows up, it goes straight from the makers and the warehouse where it's made and stored and put together to you. There's no middleman. So you're getting premium natural stuff that has not been mass produced, that does not have additional sulfites in it. It has only nature's. And so people that tend to get a headache when they drink wine, they don't do that with this wine because this wine is made the right way. It's in oak barrels. It's not with a screw top and it's not in a box. Okay. It's made the right way. And we're also in 4 or 5 countries now. Canada is another one. The United Kingdom, France, Germany, and is it Italy? I think it's Italy. Anyway, so, and it's going to be global. It's definitely going global and we love it. And it's a discovery club as well, because you have different kinds of wine here. You have white, you have red, you have rosé, and you have sparkling wine. We have it all. And if you're not, like you may think, oh, I prefer red or I prefer white. When you get through tasting our wines, it will be, you may change your mind. You may have a hard time deciding what your favorite is because they're all so wonderful.
Well, thank you. Do you have anything else to say about that wonderful wine club?
Oh, well, also, yes, you can go into business and there's 3 levels that you can join at, and the compensation plan is awesome. We have people that don't even drink wine, some that are in the business because it's such an awesome thing to make and to promote. And so, we've learned a lot and people don't want to pass up. I've made more money on wine than anything else. Roy claims it's the best thing he's ever marketed. And I believe him because he didn't have to twist my arm, but it's wonderful. And so we have 3 levels you can get involved in. Get with the person that sent you here, if you're not already one of us, and join our family. We have the best times. When COVID was around, this was the next best thing to being able to get out and visit with friends. And we love it. And we love you. And thank you so much for joining us.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry.
Very
Roy,
well.
before we sign off, I always like to bring you back on to see what your words of wisdom are for us with the different pairings of the evening. What do you have for us, buddy?
Apparently those whiskeys were really good.
Come back, Roy.
You gotta come back. We need to start chanting, Rory, Rory, Rory.
I'll come from the upstairs computer where we're broadcasting from.
You gotta turn me off, baby. You gotta turn me off.
Yeah, I heard I was coming up. I gotta tell you guys, and Peter, you and I can talk about this for a long time, but I'm gonna tell you something about that whiskey. If you've never had real whiskey that's made the right way, there is a euphoria when you drink it. It's crazy good how this is. It's a different feeling than drinking any other whiskey. I'm not making it up. Like, you guys, we're going to shock the world with this. That being said, it's just like we do with the wines, right? How many people here know that there's a difference now between a real wine and what they try to pawn us off in the store? And once you understand and know, it's really hard to go back. Wait till we do that with the spirits. All right, Jackie, are we good?
We are good, baby. I'm just waiting for you to come back upstairs so I can close it out and we can shut it off.
Sounds great. God bless everyone.
All right.
I want to thank all our cooks tonight, as well as the people that attended. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Merry Christmas.
Love
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
everybody.
See you guys next Wednesday for our, end of the year, our last one of the year next week.